Sandy Krebs, but you can call me Chef Viva Vegana. In these videos, I'll be sharing with you how anyone can make delicious vegan food. So, let's cook. Hi, Chef Viva Vegana here. Today I want to share my recipe for black bean quinoa patties with you. So, let's cook. This recipe calls for 1.5 cups of cooked quinoa. On my YouTube channel, you can find a recipe for perfect every time quinoa. And we're also going to use the oven set to 450 degrees. So before you start doing the prep, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 450 degrees with one of the shelves at the very bottom rack. In this recipe, we're going to use 1/2 bunch of parsley. I just take the large parts of the stem off, but since we're using this in a food processor, we don't have to take all the little stems off. Whenever I'm using parsley or cilantro in the food processor, I always put that on the very bottom and put the other ingredients on top. It helps hold it down so it doesn't get twisted around the blade in the middle. Then we're gonna want 1 onion in large chunks. I quartered and then ate this onion. And 2 cloves of garlic, rough chopped. The food processor will do the rest of the work for us. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of ground coriander, and 1 teaspoon of ground cilantro. We're going to process that till it's pretty much like a paste. I'm going to scrape the sides down here and process it for a couple more seconds. That's good. It's like a very, very fine dice, almost like a paste. And to that, we're going to add 1 can of well-drained black beans. Now, we don't want to process this so much that it comes out like a hummus. We still want some texture left to the beans when we're done. Okay, that looks really good. Then we're gonna add the black bean, onion, parsley, and spices mixture into the 1.5 cups of cooked quinoa. We're going to fold this in. And then we're going to form patties with it. Then we're going to get a cookie sheet and put a little bit of oil on it I have to put very little oil on this pan at this point. I treat it just like I treat my cast iron skillet. I never use soap on it or put it in the dishwasher. And it's almost like a non-stick pan. I don't use non-stick pans because of health reasons. But if you want to, you can also get a silk pad at any cooking store or online retailer, and they cost about $12, and then you could completely eliminate the oil from this recipe. So we're gonna make patties. I usually make a couple different size patties so I could use them for different things. These are gonna feel very loose in your hand, and you're gonna have to kind of plop them onto the pan. But when they're cooking, they're gonna get a nice brown sear on them, and also some of the moisture will cook out of them, so they'll not be as loose after they cook. And we're going to put them in the 450-degree oven on the very bottom rack. Everybody's oven is a little bit different, and I have these in there for about 10 minutes on each side, but your nose is really one of your best tools for knowing if something is ready or not. You don't want to keep on opening the oven and checking on them because you're letting the heat out. And also on this recipe, it's really important that you get that good sear on each side, so you don't want to keep lifting them up and checking. So when it starts smelling toasty, you'll know it's time. You want to use a very thin spatula so you can get underneath these and get that brown seared part on them. And again, these are really soft, so you're gonna want to just flop them over. And you can reform them a little bit, and as I said before, as they cook, that moisture is going to cook out of them. So by the time they have about 10 more minutes in the oven, they will hold together much better. And back into the oven for another 10 minutes. Okay, I got a little preoccupied doing something, so they've actually been in there for about 12 minutes on the second side. So let's have a look. My glasses got fogged up, I can't see anything. Okay, I can see again. So you can see they're nice and brown, and I can tell just by looking at them that a lot of that moisture has cooked out now. They're a lot firmer. So as with all my recipes, you can improvise on these. You can use any kind of beans really. If you want to spice them up, you can use a little bit of sriracha or fresh jalapeno or fresh serrano. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you like and share the video and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, let's cook.